This is about Fred Hampton, leader of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party back in the 60s. And also the events that led up to Fred Hampton's murder in 1969. Why? Well, for being too black, too strong, too loud, and for bringing people together of all backgrounds, white, black, and in between. Also, this is talking about how the FBI, they were aided in their murder of Fred Hampton by William O'Neill, played here by Lakeith Stanfield. So, you know, like I said, these movies are a struggle within themselves, man, to watch. But sometimes you got to look at them and say, man, you know what? Yes, I am angry, I'm depressed, I'm upset, but not only was that necessary, but shit, that was a good movie too. You know, it's like, hey, there's one positive out of this. That was a good movie. Is that the case with this movie right here? This has been getting some very glowing reviews out there. Are we on board with that? Let's go ahead and take a look, and we'll let you know after this trailer for Judas and the Black Messiah.
Our counterintelligence program must prevent the rise of a black...
That fool looks like the Penguin.
That's what I was saying, too.
That is, you wouldn't recognize him. That's Martin Sheen as an unrecognizable Martin Sheen, but he's playing bitch-ass, punk-ass J. Edgar Hoover right here. And I looked at that like, damn, you should be in a Batman movie right now. Instead of fighting the Black Panther, you'd be fighting Batman right now. They call this Judas and the Black Messiah because J. Edgar Hoover, at the time, he was to the point of just not even being racist. He was so xenophobic against black people. Like, he did not want them to infiltrate. It was bad enough they were already here. He did not even want them to infiltrate any further, any kind of American culture at all. So he was so scared of a black Messiah being cultivated amongst these people and having such influence that they actually sanctioned murder. And, you know, watching this, y'all just got to deal with me if I go off, because I was...
You mean when?
What's that?
You say if you go off.
When I go, because I was so fucking angry watching this, because it's so relevant to what is happening now. You might not think it isn't, unless you are really keeping up with what's going on in the world right now and you're making the connections. But, you know, watching this was just like having this country slap you in the face and kick you in your ass the whole time. You know, this is history that shows the hypocrisy of how this country celebrates, how it influences and celebrates white liberation and violence. While black liberation and black struggles have historically been scrutinized to the point where this country murders people, murders innocent people. You know, if you want to know why, I mean, we're gonna get into a review. I'm just telling you, watching this movie, if you watch this movie, you know what's going on. It's going to piss you off. And these murderers out there have never had to face justice. They were told by the government to do that. Because these people, while throughout history, people have gotten together for the betterment of their communities. You know, in this case, black people, they've always been met with violence by this country. They've always been met with murder by this country. They've always been met with death by this country. While domestic terrorism from white people has never had to been addressed till this very fucking day, man. This very fucking day. You look at those that insurrection on the Capitol right there, and some of those people are still being handled with restraint, given fucking organic food. And here's the biggest thing: none of these fucking domestic terrorist white radical organizations, these far right organizations, they never had anybody go in and murder their leaders. They never had anybody go in and meet them with violence. They go out there with guns and show up, and nobody says anything to them. To the point, I just read something today. And I don't know if this is true, so fact check me on this. I'm not just even a challenge. Let me know. I'm just telling you what I read. It might be off. They says about 71 accounted for terrorist groups. I don't know if this that the government has taken into account. And none of them are these far right domestic white terrorist groups. But for throughout history, they told you, like, while we celebrate every fucking violent movement, NRA, 4th of July, all that bullshit, free speech and all that, the moment that black people get together and try to do something is always met as a threat. And till this day, they call Black Lives Matter a terrorist group, while they were too busy looking at these people who, for the most part, got together peacefully. Look at this Capitol right here. Now, and like I said, man, when you walk away, and I say this, as far as this country continues to turn its eye and say, hey, kiss our ass because we're great, kiss our ass because you've been told that since birth that we're good, because we don't want to come across as shitty because we're embarrassed about our history, till that happens in this country, man. And I say that even more watching this film. This country can kiss my black ass. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Now, even if with a movie that has an important message like that, that message ain't good if it ain't a good movie.
This is true.
Hey man, I feel bad for you Negroes, but your movie sucks. Yeah, man. So if it's not a good movie, man, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of movies out there that had the heart in the right place.
Sure, but they're ham-fisted. The dialogue's terrible, and they feel like TV movies.
Yeah, and if that's the case, I mean, no matter how much your heart's in the right place, don't mean nothing. Which is why I'm happy to say that walking out of this film right here, I'm very happy to say I walked out not only enlightened, but also I watched a very well-made film.